In this video, I'm going to go over a few things that you might run into if you use recycled concrete for a path or a set of stairs. And as you can see right here, the path has got a bump sticking in it. And I think I can zoom in on it here. And this is probably from a tree root. You know, you probably have a tree root that's growing under here and pushing everything up. And would this happen on a regular sidewalk? It all depends. If you had a sidewalk with rebar in it, it might push the sidewalk up, but it's not going to push it up enough like this to where it's going to break it. And again, this would depend upon the tree root and the size of it and how large it becomes over time. Now, I'm sure that at one time this looked nice. And this would work fine. If you just had landscaping like this where you didn't have a lot of trees, I don't think you would have problems with it, or as many problems with it. I mean, let's face it, erosion, soil expansion and contraction, and all of this plays a factor in whether or not something like this or a regular sidewalk is going to last. But that's my biggest concern about using something like this. You have a tree root come in, pop something up, or you have some erosion to where it sinks it down, and you have a path now that needs to be repaired. And if that's the case, it actually needs to be repaired. Now, should you use concrete or mortar in between the pieces of recycled concrete? And these, again, these are coming from driveways and sidewalks that are jackhammered and tore apart, and then people have been trying to reuse the concrete for quite some time. And actually, I think when it first came out, it was something that worked great. You know, I think using them for some things like retaining walls, stairways in the right circumstances, paths in under the right circumstances will last for a long time. But for something like this where you have some trees, probably not. Here we can see another section of the path, and this is actually from, I believe, this tree here has some type of a root going up here and really putting a number on it. And you can see right here where whatever it is, it's something here that's pushing this up and creating a problem for it. So in my opinion, something like this, if you're going to use it for in an area where you don't have clay soil, maybe, where it's not expansive soil, something that gets wet and expands, and then when it dries out, it shrinks, which would be moving the walkway. You know, and if that's the case, a sidewalk, just pour a sidewalk through here, you're going to be better off than doing something like this. Here's a stairway. I know it doesn't really look like it, and I thought I took more pictures of it. But I didn't. I only have one here. You can see here is one step here. Here's another step. Something like this, you need to have a little more uniformity or more proportion. It'd be nice if you had a straighter line coming through here. Something like this right here doesn't seem to be working as well. For a stairway, you don't want to take one small step here and then have a big step, go back to a smaller step, and then do a big step. You want to have it more uniform and even. So all of the steps should be 12 inches. All of them should be 14 inches, something like that. This wasn't really easy to walk up and down and navigate. And I could just imagine someone with a different type of shoe or someone who wasn't paying attention could actually fall. And you're looking at this right now. You look at it down, you know, in some cases, you're not going to be able to see the change in the elevation, you know, so you're actually going to be putting your foot down. Okay, yeah, this is a change in the elevation. Walking up, it won't be as big of a problem, but walking down, I've seen people, they can't see certain parts of it, especially with the shadows from the sunlight and stuff like that. So that could actually be another problem. So here's more of what I'm talking about. You have something that's more rounded here. You have something that creates more of a line, or at least closest to a straight line as possible. And that's going to be better than having something real irregular like the other one. So here we can see this one, you kind of walk up here, and this one's not in that bad a shape. Even though it just got bamboo growing next to it, you'd think it'd be tearing this stuff up. But you can see where the mortar or the concrete used to fill in between is not there anymore on some of these. And that, again, could create a problem for anyone walking up and down these stairs with certain types of shoes. So here's what I conclude with this video. If you're going to build something like this, don't do it around trees. Expansive soil might not be good. When I say trees, I mean something that might put off a root large enough to raise or lower sections of the walkway. So you could actually have a root raise a section of it and then erosion lower a section of it. And that's where a walkway poured with rebar might work a little better than something with a bunch of pieces like this that have no type of base. And again, if you use pavers, you install pavers for something like this, they want like a 6 or a 12-inch base of gravel and sand mixture. If you're just going to put this on top of soil, especially expansive soil, expect it to fall apart over time. So hope this video helps. And if you are going to build something like this, try to do a little more research and maybe see if any of your neighbors have done something like this and how long it's lasted before you actually do something like this.